All right, I think we're live. We are live. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm just going to check first that we are live on Facebook, which I think we are. Double checking here, and let me a quick look. Can you guys see me?
Yep.
Currently, I'm
Gotcha.
streaming. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome, 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 everyone watching this live on my Facebook page or watching the recording from Mick and Jen's and Lisa's. So it's David here. Obviously, I'm on my timeline, so it is me. Hope you're doing great. It is December the 17th, so that makes it about a week before Christmas, so not too far away. So first of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope you're going to have an amazing time with your family and friends. And this time of the year is always great for people. And it's also a time to reflect on the year that's been. So I always, Christmases are really funny for me because I've had some good ones and some bad ones, I suppose, like a lot of people. So, but is that one time of the year when, people tend to reflect on what's going on in their life for the last 12 months, and then they start thinking about next year because that's only another week away after that. So I wanted to jump on here tonight, and rather than doing what I normally do, I wanted to basically like have a discussion with a couple of awesome people, which you can see right now on the screen. Actually, it's more than a couple. It's actually three people because couple is two, right? So we've got Jen and Mick from the Gold Coast, so not far from me, just down the road. We've also got the amazing Lisa Marie, who's also from the Gold Coast. So that's really cool. So we're all Gold Coasters here. So first of all, say good day, everyone. Say hello.
Hey guys.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Awesome, awesome. So I wanted to bring these legends online because we talk quite often. Sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's every few weeks. And we've got a lot of things in common. And the things we got in common is that number one, we're all awesome people. Just plugging ourselves there. The second thing is, hey, look, why not? The second thing is we're over 50. And oh geez, it sounds bad when I say that. I just in my head, I'm still like talking.
I'm only just, by the way.
Just only just. But we're over 50 and we're not out. We're not out. We're still going. We've still got plenty of life. We got plenty of years left in us. We've got plenty of time to make a difference and make an impact. And I think I speak for all of us is that, we're coming across this time in our lives where we're starting to really think, okay, how many years do we have left and what are we going to do in that time? Would you guys agree with that?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, just to be clear, I haven't got any grandkids, but you guys have, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So you would like to spend more time with them when you could, as well as your own children, of course. And I think that's reflective of Christmas. Like there's no script here. I'm just making this up as we go along. But that's reflective of Christmas is that we want to spend more time with our family. Sometimes we don't want to spend any time with our families, right?
Just beating quiet.
But at this time of the year, people want to spend more time with their family, and sometimes it's when the only chance that people get together, really, for a lot of people, whether they like it or not. And that's crazy. Like, why can't you have lots of Christmases during the year? Why can't you get together whenever you like? Why can't why can't you see your family, no matter which town, state, country they're in, anytime you like? And the answer to that is because most people are working, right? They're either at a job or they're working in their business, or they don't have the funds to do it. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Like really, if you wanted to see your kids, your grandkids anytime you want, the only thing that stops you, and this could be, if you don't have kids or grandkids, it could be your friends or something like that. The only thing that stops you is time and money. And that's the same for everyone. And so one of the reasons I got online years ago was that I wanted more time. I was working very long days. Sometimes I'd leave for work at like 7 in the morning and I'd get home at 11 o'clock at night. And, I wanted some more time for myself. I didn't have a family back then, but I wanted more time for myself. And we'll talk about this a little bit when we go into it. But these days, the old days of getting up at 5:30 in the morning, going to a job 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and then, doing that for the rest of your life. that's something you can choose not to do. All right. Now, a lot of people choose to do it, but it's something you can choose not to do, because the days of the, whatever you call it, the working class man, woman, is all changed because of this wonderful thing called the internet. All right. And we've seen that in the last few years where people have literally not gone on into their work, and they've been able to work from home around their family, which is awesome. So we're going to talk about some things tonight. And the reason why we called it over 50s and what do we call it? Over 50s and not out or something is that, you know, we represent a lot of people in Australia and overseas that are over 50, and we might be technologically challenged at times, you know, even that word's hard to say. And, you know, I didn't grow up with a computer, and, you know, I've had to learn my way around the computer. And even now, I'm not very good at doing stuff. I don't know everything. Whereas today, a lot of people are very good, especially younger people. They're very skilled online and with their phone. And we're still learning all the time. And what we want to talk about is, you know, people like us, us middle-aged people, you know, we have the ability to completely reframe our lives if we decide to go a different direction. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Definitely.
So I want to start with, I'll start with you, Lisa. What do you feel are the top 3 challenges for people over 50 facing today?
Top 3. Oh, that's hard. I'm going to say, because I think it's something that I've really been talking to, I particularly talk to a lot of women. And I think one of the things that continuously comes up is superannuation, and not having enough superannuation for various reasons to really live their life, the rest of their life, you know, in a meaningful, purposeful way that they choose to. So, you know, I think that's just really come through really, really a lot for me lately. I think also things like, you know, people still have mortgages, right? I'm not going to, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but, you know, I mean, I'm on the cusp of being a boomer and a, whatever the generation after that is, Gen X or whatever it is. And I know a lot of people have a crack at boomers for, you know, having property and all these things. But to be really honest, a lot of, you know, people who are around my age, they still have mortgages, and they still have to work to pay that debt. And even if they don't have a mortgage for their own home, they've done, you know, I mean, I don't know all the things that you can do, but, you know, they've done things to remortgage their home for their children and a lot of other things. So, you know, there's a lot of debt that people over 50 are carrying. And I think that's really hurting, you know, it's hurting everyone right now, but it's really hurting a lot of people because they feel like that they should have, you know, there is a bit of pride, and you sort of get to an age where you think, oh, I should have had all that paid off by now, like, you know, the good old Australian dream sort of thing. So I think debt and mortgage and, you know, having debt are really 2 big things, as well as superannuation that's coming through, and just not having the money to live the rest of their life on.
Absolutely. So if you're watching this on Facebook Live at the moment, go into the comments, and if you feel you don't have enough super, put into the comments super, just to let us know you don't have enough super, because that is a big thing. You know, I know people that do have a lot of super, and then other people have got zip, you know, and like myself, I had to draw back on my super a couple of times when I was going through stuff in my life, which I won't go into, and I had to take money out of what little super I had. And so for me, you know, I've been putting super in lately, but, you know, literally if I load in super now, would probably get me going for a couple of months. That's about it. You know what I mean? So, or maybe a bit longer, but a lot of people just don't have super. And like you said, a lot of people, and me coming from a finance background, I used to go and visit people that were in their 50s, and they were having to refinance and remortgage their home for a 25-year home loan, and they were 55. And the reality was that they're going to keep working until they're 75 or 80. Can you imagine that? And the other reason why I wanted to bring you guys on as well was that, you know, I think I might have discussed this before, but, you know, I went to the supermarket, local supermarket the other day, it was a shopping center, And I saw a lady that she was cleaning, like just, you know, sweeping the floors and stuff like that. And, you know, she was hunched over. She looked at least 75 or something like that. And I was like, what really brought you here? Like, why are you still working? You should be retired. You should be on cruises. You should be, you know, living your life, not cleaning up after people's rubbish in a supermarket. And I'm not saying that we can help everyone like that, but what I'm saying is that people that are our age or a little bit older, we still have time to do something about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
we can still do something now. We can still take action. And that's, you know, that's one of the things that is really prominent. And when I talk to people, I talk to thousands of people over my career and, you know, where they're at. And a lot of people are worried about working till they're, you know, too old. What about you guys, Mick and Jen? What do you think are the top things that people, you know, maybe for over 50 or, hey, even under 50 are worried about right at the moment?
Look, it's definitely what Lisa Marie said, mortgages and time. And look, for us, it's time as well. Like a lot of people are not having the time that they used to. Like a lot of people are having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Not even, and you don't even have to be plus 50. Like it's below 50s as well. There's a lot of concerns with people's health as well going on at the moment, which plays on people, on your minds, where you're going to be in the future, how you're going to be in the future. So that plays a big part, I believe, as well.
Yeah. And what about either you can jump in. What about your thoughts on the government in Australia lifted the retirement age, I think from 65 to 70. So they want people to work extra longer. I mean, have you thought about it? I mean, I can't imagine, I wouldn't be able to, well, I wouldn't anyway, but I don't work in a job, but imagine working till you're 70 before you could retire. And I'm not sure what the pension is. I know it's pretty small. But what are your thoughts on people working to their 70 because they got to pay off all their bills or their mortgage?
Well, I think it's a multiple sword, not even a double-edged sword. There's multiple reasons why they've done that, and none's good for the end user like ourselves. But you know, the super funds are not going to have the money what they need. There's not enough workforce, not enough people working anymore in Australia since 2020. A lot of people haven't gone back to work. They're doing different things, and you can talk to people in shops as you go shopping and do stuff throughout your daily life, and you say to people, oh, where's this or where's that? And they say, look, we have never been such short-staffed. People just did not come back after the pandemic a couple of years ago. And so people are looking at different ways, and the general JOB is not the way people want to go. And so the government's trying to see how they can get people to stay in the workforce. People can't afford to live on the pension, and because it's not enough, so they're allowed to earn 100. As a single, you're allowed to earn $100 a week on the pension without affecting your pension. The last lot of information I had, so that's $100 a week to allow you to earn. That's what's that? Probably 3 hours a week you can work as a part-time job, you know, which is not much before they start taking the bit off you. Or if you've got super and you're part doing super and part doing the pension, they still take it off you there. So the system's geared to look after the system, not after you. And they're just going to make you work and work. And the people who make the rules, they're going to be retired very soon. You know, they'll be off on their whatever, because we know polys get looked after pretty well. They're the people who make the rules. And it's about the person who chooses to work the 9 to 5 or similar. I mean, I came from starting at 3 and finishing at 3 in the afternoon. So I came from a 12 to 13 hour day background 12 months ago before I decided to change. I had to change because if it didn't change, I was not going to change. And you've got to take control, because if you let the system do your stuff for you, you're just going to be a slave and buggered.
Absolutely. And Lisa, what are your thoughts around? I mean, if we look now, like when I grew up, it was a one-income family, which I think a lot of people grew up in one-income families. That was pretty common. And now it's like there's no such thing as, I mean, unless you're really highly skilled tradesperson working in the mines or something like that, it's pretty much impossible to get a mortgage on one income when I look at the prices of the houses. What do you think is going to happen in 5 years when, you know, obviously they won't be able to keep the rates where they are? What do you think is going to happen, Lisa?
Look, you know, if I knew that, I would be just rich on just knowing that, because I would be doing something about it. But I just think the economy and I think the world is just so volatile now, and I don't think you know, anyone really knows. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are planning all this, but it is much more difficult now for anyone to A, get a mortgage, like you said, and B, to even pay one off. You know, you're locked in for such a long time, and I think you know, a mortgage, and then the you know, rents are ridiculous. So I think that you know, it's some people are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, they're giving up one thing to pay the rent. You know, they're giving up something over here to pay the rent or the mortgage. Like you said, you know, people are working, and Jenny, I think you might have mentioned some people. You know, we see families who are working 2 or 3 or 4 jobs even, and that's just to cover the, you know, what we would call the essentials. Like there's nothing else happening for those, that, you know, family, except paying the bills, paying the mortgage, you know, those sort of things. So I feel like you, I just feel like it's tough, and it's going to be tough for a few years. And yeah, I don't know, like, thankfully I am at the other end of that, and I don't have to worry about that. We haven't been without our challenges over our time, but that challenge or that worry is not something that we have now. But I feel my kids, you know, I've got kids, and there's, you know, definitely one of them, she feels like she will never ever get into the market. Like, she just, you know, can't see how that is possible for her to do that. So yeah, it's tough.
So that's really like the perfect segue into the next thing, which is why a lot of people have to start thinking outside the box. They've got to go, you know what? I've got to do something else. I've got to find another way to make money. And if you're following any of us online, you would know that we all promote a side hustle. So a side hustle, I mean, when you think about it, my dad was doing a side hustle because, you know, dad worked in a factory. He started at 7 in the morning, got home at 4. And then he'd come home, eat some food, then he'd go and do his side hustle out in the back shed, working on machinery equipment. Then on the weekends, he did another side hustle, would go around to businesses and help fix machines and stuff like that. So he was doing 3 jobs to pay for all the kids. So he was doing side hustles, but they didn't have the internet back then. Now we're all doing side hustles. And in fact, a lot of people have done 2 or 3 jobs. But we're doing side hustle, and we're doing it differently because we're doing it online, and we're doing it with our phones or our laptops. And look, there is very, very few people in the world now, or certainly not in the first world, that don't have a computer or the internet. You know, it's pretty much like almost everyone's got the computer or the internet. But most people use the internet for entertainment. They use it for scrolling, watching silly videos and stuff like that, right? And that's all fine, because the internet, in my opinion, has really replaced the television in a huge amount of ways for entertainment. You know, so YouTube, you know, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you know, I would spend 10 times as much time on there as I would watching anything on the TV, right? If I do watch the TV, it's usually YouTube, right? And I remember watching many years ago, well over 10 years ago, there was this, I think it was a Japanese or a Chinese kid. He was 5 years old, and he was making like $3 million a year doing toy reviews or something. And people can remember that because he was probably the first person on YouTube to make millions of dollars, and he was only a kid. And so, and that's always stuck in my head. And now everyone's online, everyone's selling something online, and there's all sorts of things people are selling, right? Everything from, well, their bodies to products. Let's face it, like people are having a lot of success doing all sorts of things. So why do you think people don't start a business online? So what do you think, Jen? Why don't people start a business online? Like, why don't they just go, man, online is the way to go. Let's go. I'm gonna go make some money. Why do you think people don't do it?
Look, I think the number one is fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing how to do it online. Like, you're coming from traditional job backgrounds where you go to an office or you go to a factory or something, you're doing that. you're being given instruction as to what to do, how to do it, and when to have a lunch break, when to have an afternoon, morning tea, all those sort of breaks. When you're online, you are your own boss, and you need to be responsible and accountable to yourself, nobody else, because it's your business. So I think it is the unknown of being your own employer. If you've never been had your own business before, what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
And what about people that have tried something on the internet before? Maybe they put some money in somewhere or tried a business and they didn't make any money or it didn't work, and they just said, "Oh, it's a scam. It didn't work." You know, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, it's the fear of putting your hard-earned money into something that you don't know whether it's going to last or not, whether you're backing a credible company, whether the people that you're involved with are legitimate, or they're just there to benefit themselves and not help you or guide you or give you that one-on-one assistance, which is what we all looking for and need when you're first starting out online. You need that help.
And it's ironic because I sent you guys a link before. I saw this post not long ago on social media, and someone was complaining that they started a business online. They didn't make any money and they thought they got ripped off and whatever. And I had to have a bit of a laugh, not at that expense, but, 50% of marriages end in divorces, right? That's a fact. People ride a bike and they fall off, they get back on. People start a business, it doesn't work, and they go and start another business. I don't know if you guys know, but I know lots of people that have started a job, worked in a job for a few years, didn't like it, realized it wasn't their right career, and they've changed to a different career, right? So if you don't like your job, do you go, well, that's it, jobs don't work? You know what I mean? Like, I tried a job once, it didn't work, so I'm never going to have one again, right? That's not going to feed you or pay your mortgage. And so I think a lot of people do maybe look at a side hustle or try something, and then they don't have success in the first 5 minutes or 5 weeks or 5 months, and they go, it didn't work, so I'm going to give it up. So what would you say, Lisa, to someone like that maybe might be watching, maybe they've tried something before, it doesn't matter what it is, but they've tried something, they haven't been a success, didn't make any money, but they still have in the back of their head, like they're still like, I've got to do something different. What would be, and I'm putting you on the spot here, what are your thoughts around that?
Look, I think you just, don't give up. Like, I agree. I think fear is so powerful, and we see it every day. We see, fear is instilled in all of us. And I just want to tap back into the whole YouTube thing. And I've been watching quite a bit of YouTube lately, just for different things. And I think I did put a post up maybe last week about that exact thing, the internet. And here I was watching, a YouTube channel that was literally videoing airplanes taking off at Brisbane Airport, right? And I'm fascinated by it. I'm like, oh my God, look at that, and those people are making money from that. Like, that is a legitimate business. And I know, like, when they started, they might have only had, 2 people subscribe to their channel, but you just keep at it. You get better at it. You learn, you learn the skills, tap into community. Although Jen talked about that before. And I think that even if something's not working for you, it doesn't mean that it's not working for other people as well. Sure, you try something, if you've had a really good crack at it and you find that it's actually not for you, that's fine. Like you said, you leave your job, you go find another job, you go find another side hustle, but you have to really give it a good crack. And I think that's the thing, is people do, oh, it didn't work. Like you said, didn't work. I'm out. And it's not about me. It's about the thing. It's about the side hustle. That doesn't work. It's not, I mean, they're not easy. Like this, I think, maybe, and I don't know, again, if I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but, many years ago, I think the whole side hustle thing was probably glamorized a bit. You could be sitting on an island, with your laptop and of course you can. but the reality is it's you know, you've got to put in time and effort. You've got to learn things. You've got to do things and to make the money. Right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I think that's where people don't understand what they're going into. So I feel like, you know, the whole world, I love the internet. I love YouTube. I love everything about online. Like you, David, I don't know I'm quite technologically challenged, but I love having a crack at stuff. You know, again, on YouTube and talking about the fear, sorry, but I just want to, you know, we're also worried about what other people think of us as well. And that does take time, you know, you've got to work through some of that. So 80-year-old bloke on YouTube, done his first, you know, 80 years old, created a YouTube channel, and 9 weeks in, he's monetized it. Like, anything is possible if you back yourself and have a crack.
Absolutely. And like, you'd have to be living under a rock to not know now that, you know, the internet, there's so much stuff on there. I mean, there's Amazon, there's eBay, people do drop shipping, there's, you know, network marketing, there's crypto. I mean, how many people are doing crypto? There's trading, you know, there's so many things that people do online. It's literally, you know, it's as common as people getting up in the morning and going to work, isn't it? In a job.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we've got people in our community that are definitely over 50, some are over 60, and they're doing exceptionally well. Now, they didn't make $1 million in their first year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they probably didn't even make $50,000 in their first year. But what they did, they just started learning and learning and learning. Like you would, like if you were 30 years old and go, look, I don't want to be a Boilermaker anymore. I want to go and learn to be, I don't know, a car mechanic. You'd have to restart your trade, all right? However, you don't have to wait as long anymore because the technology's there and there's all this training and mentoring these days so people can fast forward. And what I really love is that even though the internet is everywhere and everyone's got, you know, the internet or everyone's got social media, not everyone is doing a business, because the thing that holds people back more than anything else is fear, like you said, and like you said, Lisa, is what other people will think of them, right?
Mm.
And people are worried about what their brother, sister, you know, mother and father are going to say. And just imagine, it's crazy when you think about it. Imagine if you had this dream that you wanted to, say, retire by the time you're 50 and you wanted to travel the world and just do like blogging on a phone or something and just, you know, video places you travel and that'll be your life. But everyone said, you can't do it. It's dangerous. No one makes any money from that. You know, that's a stupid idea and all sorts of stuff. Yet I'm subscribed to YouTube channels where people half my age are doing just that. They're traveling around the world. They're making videos of all the countries they're going to and what they're doing. And I was just literally before this call, I was watching this guy on TikTok who was traveling around the world, and he's just videoing all the hotels he's staying at. And these people are making a living. Now, they might not be zillionaires, but they're making a living. And some of them are doing quite well because they literally just tapped into what's already there. Now, absolutely, the first time, like you said, making a video, if you're not as confident as me or you guys, you know, it's going to be like, we saw some of my first few videos. They're pretty funny. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the good thing is you get to be you, and you can also, there's no rush. There's no, like, you got to do this by next week. You can just take your time. And that's what I love about what we do, is that we don't have knockers in our business. We have supporters.
Mm.
And we have this whole group of people that are literally like, it's like, you know, you watch a football game and there's people on the sidelines and they're going, yeah, you got this, get the goal, you know, like you can do it. You can swim the 100 meters, you know, like literally there's people cheering you on. And the way I look at what we do is we're very similar. Like, we're the athletes in our sport, and we've got this whole, you know, stand of people cheering us on and supporting us, and they want to see us succeed and get the gold medal. And that's really cool. And for someone like myself that's never been to sports or done sports, this is my sports. You know what I mean? This is what I get to do. Like, everyone's just cheering me on and they go, and you got this. Like, if I go into my little group and go, oh, next week I'm hoping to get this and achieve this goal, and everyone's like, yeah, you got it, you can do it, you can do it. And we don't get that if you're brand new and you're going to try something on the internet, because you might have, like I said, your family, your friends is not going to support you and they don't believe in you. However, times have changed, and I think people are starting to, realize that it is possible for people to make money. I see some people making money on the internet, and I just shake my head and go, I can't believe people making money doing that sort of stuff. It's crazy. So, like, I think now we're in, and I heard this from someone else, and I'm just going to plagiarize, steal it, whatever. But I believe we're in the digital gold rush, right? So let's go back 200 years when we had gold rush in America, or actually more in America, but in Australia, 200 years ago, like people come from overseas, they come from China, they come from Europe, they flock to Australia because they found gold in New South Wales and Victoria and, recently like Western Australia. And all these people, they didn't listen to their village and go, you're an idiot, right? You're not going to find any gold. These people are like, I don't care. I'm going for that gold. Like, they jumped on a ship because there was no planes back then, sailed across treacherous waters, risking their life. They probably would have never been on a boat before, probably was seasick, took all their worldly possessions, which was probably a saddlebag, went over to a foreign country, couldn't speak a word of English, but all they knew that was this gold nugget, maybe in a stream or in a tunnel, that if they could get that, they would be wealthy and they'd be able to pass that wealth on to their family. So they were the risk takers, right? These days, so if anyone's watching this, they're going, I'm thinking about doing an online business, but, it's a bit risky. Imagine those people back then going for that gold. And now this is the risk. Oh, no, I've got to pick up my phone and do a post. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit easier. You can do it from inside your air-conditioned house, right? So I'm thinking that right now, we're in the digital gold rush. And it's like, if you don't get in now, all the gold's going to be gone, right? It might take 50 years for the gold to be gone, but eventually it'll be gone. I mean, they'll probably have other things, but we won't be around then. Oh, maybe we will. Might make it over 100, hopefully. So that's what I reckon. I reckon we're in the digital gold rush. And what will happen is that this will be like, and I won't get into this too much, but someone showed me crypto well over 10 years ago, right? Maybe 12 years ago. And they said, you should do this crypto thing. And they told me how much it was, and I didn't have the money to get started. And if I had bought 10 of those crypto things back then, I wouldn't be speaking to any of you now. I'd be sitting on my multi-million-dollar yacht in the Bahamas, right? Because I didn't listen, right? And it was foreign, and there was fear, and what happens if it doesn't work, and all that sort of stuff. And it wasn't really a big investment, but that's what I did, is I didn't go ahead, and I'm obviously kicking myself. And now we're in the gold rush. And I think, now is a great time for people to get started, like literally jump in and do something, right? Even if it's not with us, do something, right? Would you guys agree that we're in the digital gold rush?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean, you just can't survive now on one wage, even one wage, 2 wages for one family. You just can't. It's just so difficult. And society's being taught now to live above your means. It's being taught by all these different, there's different pay apps that you can get to, people just actually put their life on credit and just keep going and going. And next thing they're behind the wheel all the time.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but did you find that when you hit 21 that the clock sped up? Did you notice that the clock of life just sped up? And as you get older, it goes faster. Like literally, I saw something the other day and I'm like, crap, that was a year ago? I thought that was like a couple of weeks ago, right? And so time is not standing still. We still haven't learned to time travel yet. Well, that's debatable, right? But time is not on our side, right? So let's say we're healthy and we do everything right and we live to say around about 80. I think the age has gone up. So I figure I've got like 25 years roughly to get all my shit together. But I really don't have 25 years. I really only have a few years because I don't want to be spending my life, say, traveling the world or doing what I love in a wheelchair, right? I want to still be able to go and, go on amazing walks and do all the stuff that you want to do without having to be sort of, not relying on other people. Does that make sense? And so I think it's especially for this year, people have to sit back and go, what's happened for this year? And look what's going to happen next year. And if you've been watching Mick and Jen or Lisa or myself for some time, and you've been going, you know what, I wonder what these guys are doing. You're like, maybe it's the time to reach out to us and go, let's not wait till next year. You know, don't make it some New Year's resolution, like going to the gym. Like, let's go now. Like, it's a week before Christmas. Give yourself a Christmas present and at least go and have a look at what we're doing. So, you know, what we're doing, and we're not going to get into that on tonight's call because we've got literally a video for that explains that. But I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. And this is just coming to me and it gives me goosebumps, right? It's so cool. I've got goosebumps right now. This is what we do, right? We empower people. We help people, right? We surround ourselves with positive, like-minded people. We get together. We have fun. We just hang around people who want to hang around. We go and travel, like Mick and Jen, Lisa, myself. We've all traveled a lot in the last few years, right? Mick and Jen have been overseas a couple of times this year. I know Lisa's been overseas. Have I been overseas this year? I can't remember. But, you know, I've got 2 trips planned for next year. And we do all this without really asking for permission, right? We just do it because we can. And that's just so super cool. But more importantly, the people that we follow, they're like way, way, way ahead of us. They're like living in their multi-million-dollar mansions. You know, they're driving their dream car. You know, they're going to the most expensive restaurants, if that's your thing. But even though they make so much money, their heart is still back to the basics of, I want to help more people. And I think a lot of people feel like they want to help more people. Would you guys agree? Like, we're not greedy. We're not like, this is all for me and then bugger the rest of you. What I found and I'm sorry if I'm going a bit of a tangent here, but in the last 15 years, what I've found is that a lot of the stuff that's online is like someone starts a good idea for a business, whatever it is. They get a lot of money, like they attract a lot of people in, suck people in. They get a lot of people in, and then they take the money and they run, right? So their intention right from the start was just, let's see how many people I can sucker into this deal, and then I'm going to go and live in the Bahamas or whatever. Whereas we're the complete opposite. We don't work that way at all. We're like, who can we help? Who else can we lift up? And who else can we impact? Would you guys agree that's a pretty good statement?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that's what we do. We love to help people. And so we've got this community of people and we all help each other and we all praise each other, which is awesome. Imagine being around a whole group of people that are positive and like-minded. And, you know, we meet up on Facebook, we meet up on Zoom, we meet in person sometimes overseas, and we all help each other. And we're all doing a business that not only has been around for 50 years, but it actually helps people and it helps the planet. And that to me is like so super important. All right. So one way people can get involved, if you've been watching this, is that you can just reach out to Mick, Jen, myself, or Lisa and just say, look, I've been watching your video, I've been listening to whatever you're doing, and I just want to know a little bit more. Like, can you send me some information, right? And I can tell you that there's a bit of an offer going on at the moment where for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, so I'll just repeat that, less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can access everything I've been talking about and what these guys have been talking about. You can access the most amazing mentors, trainers, people that earn millions of dollars per year. You can access all the training to do with social media, how to start a business for peanuts, right? And if it's not for you, which it won't be for everyone, we'll even refund your money, which is a bit silly, really. But anyway, we'll refund your money. So I think that's a pretty good deal. Don't you guys reckon?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
So my advice is, if you've been watching us so far, if you've been watching our adventures, if you've been watching our stories and our TikToks and things, you know, what are these guys doing? Like, what are they doing? Or maybe you know what we're doing already, but you've had a look and now you want to have another look. What I want you to think about is 2025. So is your 2025 going to look exactly the same as your 2024? You're going to get to the end of 2025 and go, well, that was another year. What's next? Or you're going to get to the end of the 2025 and go, oh my God, this year I went and did all these amazing things. You know, I made some money. I met the most amazing people. I had a journey of self-discovery. You know, like when we get to this time next year, are you going to be a better person and be in a better place? And my thoughts are, if you follow what we do, I can guarantee you'll be in a better place. I can guarantee you're going to be filled with more energy. You're going to have a better positive look on life. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly true.
For sure.
Awesome. So I just want to thank you guys for jumping on the call with me tonight. We just thought of this as a last minute thing. You know, it's Christmas coming up and, you know, I just thought, well, why not tell people about what's happening? Why wait till next year? You know, we've hit the pot of gold. We really have. We've hit this pot of gold and we're helping people. And, you know, there's an opportunity for people to get involved in our community and just become a better person, help more people. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, totally agree. Because
Awesome.
you
So
don't
guys,
want-
if you're watching this, leave a comment in the Facebook Live. Please leave a comment. Reach out to Mick, Jen, myself, or Lisa, and let us know. Just say, look, I watched the video. I want to learn more. Or can I watch your presentation? Or can you send me a link or something? Go and have a look. It costs zip nothing to look, right? I guarantee you will not be embarrassed to look, right? Go and have a look. And at the end of looking, you can decide, yes, I want to move forward. I've got some questions, or this isn't for me. I want to work till I'm 80, right?
No, don't do that.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being online, Jen and Mick and Lisa. And I'm looking forward to working with you guys closely in 2025 as well. We've had a great year. We've all had our challenges, but you know, it's going to be an awesome year. I'm really looking forward to the huge growth that we're going to have.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
David. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks,
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Marie.
Thanks, everyone. See you
Bye-bye.
guys.